Welcome back. As the new right came to Washington and took the reins of power in the House, we were with them. We followed 2 new Republican House members and a freshman senator, all swept to power by the Tea Party. This will be President Obama's opposition. We talked to them about the change they're looking for and the unexpected shift in tone they've encountered since they arrived. As President Obama arrived in Schenectady, New York this week for a speech at a General Electric plant, coming down the steps of Air Force One behind him was the new Republican congressman from nearby Kinderhook, Chris Gibson. Just over 2 weeks in office,
Chris Gibson.
And Gibson, a former Army colonel, was getting a shout-out from the Commander-in-Chief.
As we go forward, I'm looking for more from the president, that he listens to the will of the American people.
That will swept Gibson and a sizable band of what you could call citizen legislators into office last November. Men and women with little or no political experience, dentists, ranchers, even a reality TV star and a restaurateur, all intent on shaking up politics as usual.
You just call me Bobby Schilling. I'm the pizza guy.
The president now must work with a Congress of freshman members like Bobby Schilling, the new representative from Rock Island, Illinois. A Tea Party candidate and a father of 10, Schilling beat out a Democratic incumbent, winning over voters who shared his frustration with Washington.
Washington has lost complete touch with us, the little guy.
Bobby Schilling, running for Congress.
One of his primary targets, the president's health care bill. The health reform bill.
Yeah, the health care takeover, the job-crushing health care.
You call it the job-crushing health care takeover.
The job-crushing health care takeover.
On the Senate side, the president now faces competition from the likes of the gentleman wielding a bowling ball.
You're cramping my lateral.
He's the new junior senator from Utah, Mike Lee.
That's how it's done.
The Tea Party upstart who fired the shot heard around the Republican establishment when he bowled over the GOP incumbent in the primaries last June. Tea Partiers have been described as revolutionaries, as rabble-rousers, as those who've come to upturn and upend the current system. Is that what you've come to do?
I don't think it should be thought of as particularly revolutionary for an American to say, let's require Congress to balance its budget. If that's revolutionary, then call me that.
When Lee, Schilling, and Gibson arrived in Washington to take office at the start of the month, they had momentum.
We're here to get this thing back on track.
Even though they were still learning about the side of the aisle.
What's really amazing is the fact that just how normal the people see, you know, like even Nancy Pelosi, just a regular person when you see.
What did you think? She was the devil with horns?
Well, you know, no, but I mean, you see a totally different person, kind of like when we see you on TV.
Some were still learning their colleagues' names.
That's Patty Murray, Democrat from Washington.
And figuring out where they were going to live. Because I think you're going to be sleeping right here.
Yes, this is the air mattress.
That's a pretty good one, right?
Yep, and there's the sleeping bag
clothes
back there. Yeah, 30 seconds. I can be right down there, and I can get the rest I need, and I'm back to work.
Work was what they came to town to do, and they were getting down to it.
I've staked out a pretty clear path for what I want to accomplish this year. It's a plan to get a balanced budget amendment.
I've co-sponsored a couple bills already.
Even the hoopla surrounding their taking office, the oaths,
I do.
The photo ops, the receptions, barely slowed their stride as they ran off to cast their first votes.
Yeah. Thanks, I'll be back.
What vote is this one?
This is for the congressional offices to take a 5% budget cut.
Right. Now, it's nice, it's symbolic, it's not going to make a big dent where you need to, right? To reduce the deficit, the debt, all of that.
Well, no, but it's called leading by example.
But just days later, on a sunny Saturday morning, their energy and enthusiasm was stolen by a gunman in Tucson. Their colleague, Democratic Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords of Arizona, was shot in the head. 13 people were wounded, 6 were dead. And while no one wanted to believe politics motivated the shooter, the ramifications rippled throughout government.
I think it was very appropriate for us to pause for that week and to really take measure of the event.
How has that affected the atmosphere?
It did change things, the tone a little bit here.
Will it increase any civility between the different parties?
Yeah, you know, I think the one thing that's been missing the last couple of years is there's been really no true debate. It's been, you know, one side kind of pushes through whatever they want.
Everyone involved in the process would rather see a more civil discourse, one that focuses on the issues and the policies at play, the things that affect the American people.
One small example of that new tone, the job-killing healthcare bill,
Job killing, their job killing, government takeover of healthcare.
is now at least referred to differently.
And destroy jobs in America.
But Congressman Schilling isn't backing down.
No, it's still a job-killing bill. It's a job crusher. You know, you call it what you will.
And neither is Senator Lee.
The shooter wins if we who have been elected change what we do just because of what he did.
Events in Tucson delayed the House vote on repealing the president's health care bill, but this week it passed.
I think what we have to do is start over, and that's what we're doing now.
The repeal is unlikely to make it through the Senate, so for now the law is safe. But what about those deficit-reducing deep cuts Republicans are talking about? So tell me where the big cuts are going to come.
The big thing is we have to look at everything. I'm not the expert yet.
Nothing should be off the table.
And the Republicans now face a president whose approval ratings are on the rise, thanks in part to better economic numbers and the speech he gave at the memorial in Tucson.
The hopes of a nation are here tonight.
You guys came in raring to go, raring to push back. Is it going to be more difficult for you now, given that his standing is being dramatically raised in the country?
As long as President Obama is doing what's good for the United States of America, I hope his favorables go to 100%.
I certainly don't think it changes my agenda or the agendas of those who were elected along with me this year. Presidential polling numbers wax and wane over time, and that doesn't change the way we push forward.
And those improved ratings are also due to continuing tax cuts, a plan the president initially resisted.
He listened to the American people, and he compromised on something that was very important so that our economy was able to move forward.
He's starting to have to shift to become more of a moderate, and which is good.
But just how much the president will have to shift in order to work with this new Congress remains to be seen.